Well, hello kids! Welcome back to another Well Hello Wednesday. I'm your host, Master Abbie, and today we're going to be talking about having a good attitude. Now, what a good attitude means is whether life is going well or it's going badly, we try to stay positive. So, for instance, if maybe your parents ask you to go and clean your room, instead of grumbling or complaining and saying, fine, whatever, instead we have a good attitude about it and we say, okay, will do. Now, we're going to be talking about a story from the Bible about a man named Jonah who had a very bad attitude. Now, this story comes from the Bible in a book called, you guessed it, Jonah. The story starts when God talks to a man named Jonah, and he tells him to go to a place called Nineveh and go and tell the people about the bad and sinful things they're doing. Jonah decides that he's not going to do that, and he runs away and goes in the complete opposite direction of Nineveh. He gets on a ship and tries to go to the other side of the world. But God had bigger plans than that. So God sends a huge storm to the ship that Jonah was on. And while everyone was terrified, I mean, waves are going up and down like this. Basically, God was trying to say to Jonah, hey Jonah, get your attitude checked! So Jonah realized eventually that, the whole storm was his fault. And so he tells the sailors that are on the ship with him to throw him into the ocean, and that will calm the storm. So they do, and Jonah gets thrown off the ship, and he goes into the water, and then God sends a huge fish to go and save Jonah. He swallows Jonah, and now Jonah's in the belly of a giant fish for 3 whole days. And while Jonah was in, the smelliest hotel room you probably could ever think of, he realized that he had a bad attitude. So he prayed to God and he told God how sorry he was and that he realized he was having a bad attitude and that he would fix it and he would listen to God this time. So after those 3 days, God tells the fish to spit Jonah out onto dry land, and the fish does. And then God tells Jonah again to go to Nineveh and tell the people about the wrong and sinful things they're doing. And this time, Jonah does what he's asked. He has a good attitude about it, he goes to Nineveh and does what he's told. Now, I tell you this story because we also are told to have a good attitude as well. Something about having a good attitude is, sometimes it's a little tough, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes there's things in life where we really don't want to do it, or we really don't want to help someone, or do what we're told, and we have a bad attitude about it. For me, I don't like cleaning my room very often. Even my workspace here, this is probably the cleanest my workspace is. Usually it's very messy. But I learned that I had a good attitude about it. Whenever my mom would ask me to clean my room, I'd have a good attitude about it and I would do what she asked me to. And it was better actually. I actually started to enjoy cleaning my room, as hard as that is to believe. And I also found that putting things where they need to go makes them easier to find. So my books are put away, I have my toys in a certain spot, and I just found it was easier for me. Also, when we have a good attitude, other people notice it as well. When we're positive and we're more open to helping other people or doing something, other people notice and they feel they have a good attitude as well. Now, I'm going to pray with you guys for this week and then we'll move into our activity for today. So we're going to pray by folding our hands and closing our eyes. Dear God, thank you for today. I thank you that we have the chance to go and serve others and to serve you, Lord. I pray that when we have a bad attitude, that you would let us know that we're having a bad attitude and that we would have a good attitude instead. In your name, amen. Now, for our activity today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making something that I like to call attitude jars. So what an attitude jar is it's a container that whenever you do something with a good attitude, like maybe you clean your room with a good attitude, or help with the dishes, or said to your family, hey, that was a great meal, thank you so much. You can put that in your jar to remind you that you had a good attitude. Now, you're just going to need a few materials. So one of them is you're going to need an empty container. For me, I have a peanut butter jar, but you can have anything from a peanut butter jar, or a vase, or a shoe, like basically anything that has an empty pocket in it. I'm going to unscrew this. You're also going to want some construction paper. I have a few different colors because we're basically going to be making the scene, putting it on our jar. Some markers or some paints, rocks, slips of paper, tape, and some scissors. Now to start, what you're going to want to do is, well, you're going to want your jar first. That would be helpful. But what you're going to do is with your construction paper is you're going to make different sea creatures. So for me, I'm going to make a big fish, like the fish that Jonah was swallowed by. So if I remember what a fish looks like, or a whale, I think it looks like this. I think so. I can't see that at all, but here we go. And make sure that the things that you make are able to actually fit on your jar. Is this the right size? It's the right size. It'll fit on my jar. I think that looks like a fish. And then you can decorate them however you want. So I'm gonna give mine eyes. I think fish have eyes. There we go. And then you can also make other sea creatures or other waves with them as well. I'm gonna put my little fish here. I'm gonna make a starfish, I think. Starfish look nice. And you don't have to be world-class artists either, because I know for certain that I'm not. Alrighty. That is a beautiful starfish. Alright, next what we're gonna do is when you've got your sea creatures and your waves and your sea kelp, whatever you want to do, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put some tape on the back of your creatures, just like this, and you're gonna stick them right onto your jar. Boom! Starfish. I'm gonna do that with my whale too. We're just gonna stick that right on the jar as well. We'll put that right here. Boom! My whale friend is now on there. So next what you're gonna do is, well, I'm gonna move all my stuff out of the way here so I have more space. Like I said, very bad at organizing things. Next what you're gonna do is either with your rocks or your slips of paper. If you're using rocks, I recommend using paint. If you're using slips of paper, you can use paint or markers. And just write things that you had a good attitude about. Like the other day, my family and I we made dinner together. We made some quesadillas. They're actually pretty good. I was very thankful for their help. So I'm gonna say, I had a good attitude when my family helped me. And then I'm just gonna put that right into my attitude jar. Bonk. So now whenever I need a reminder of times where I had a good attitude or remembering what it was like to have a good attitude, I can just pull it out of my jar and I can read it, or I can do a drawing of it, and I can be reminded that having a good attitude is, well, good. That's all for today. So make sure that you clean up your area, and if you need your parents to help you can come and ask them to help you. I hope that you guys had a lot of fun making these attitude jars, and remember to have a good attitude. I will see you guys next Wednesday. You can also check us out on Sundays. I'll be around for a little chat and a little story. And you can catch us on our church service. Either you can catch us on Zoom or on our Facebook Live. And well, I hope you have a great week. I'll see you later. Farewell.